Hello everyone, my name is The Clever Fool. Today I'll be checking out a custom campaign available in the mod workshop titled The Last Romans, featuring the Byzantines, defending Constantinople against some incoming Turks. I heard this one was quite difficult. I believe someone out there requested me to play this one, so let's go ahead and just get started.
Constantinople, 1453 AD. The bell tolled as the troops manned the ancient walls. These defenses, built during the reign of the Emperor Theodosius II, had preserved this last bastion of the Roman Empire for over a millennium. These walls had, over many centuries, withstood assaults by Huns, Goths, Persians, Avars, Bulgars, and Arabs. Only the Latin Crusaders had been able to take the city, but even they had not challenged the walls. Instead, they were naively welcomed into the city as Christian allies before they treacherously turned on the inhabitants. The walls themselves had remained untouched, invulnerable, never breached in their 1,000 years. But these walls had also never before faced cannons. Sultan Mehmet, commander of the invading armies, knew this well. Below the walls and stretching for miles to the west were the rows of tents and campfires of his Ottoman army. The Sultan had come for conquest, to take this red apple of the world at any cost. No multitude of his slave soldiers would be too high of a price to pay for his victory, but he also knew his cannons would be the key to his triumph. The key that would unlock these formidable walls and grant him the city of men's desire. The Sultan stood in front of his simple tent, beside a pole bearing a horse tail, the Turkish symbol for war. With a flick of his wrist, as if his multitude of soldiers, cavalry, and cannons were but a string hanging from his finger, he ordered the attack.
Alright, it's nice to know that this mission has voice acting.
Emperor, the rap.
Our main objectives here are to survive until the summer heat and Western Crusaders force the Turks from the field. So it looks like from April 1st to June 1st. Not sure how much actual time that is. The sacred church, the Hagia Sophia, must not be taken by the Turks, the Hagia Sophia. And Emperor Constantine the 11th must survive. We have some tactical objectives. The first of which involves finding the Genoese defending finding the Genoese. I can't tell if it's Genoese or Genoese. Again, I'm sorry about the pronunciations here. Defending Leander's Tower on the Bosporus. We have some optional challenges to test our skill, which involve not losing a villager, not losing St. Romanus Gate, and not losing an Arch of Constantine, as well as killing all Turkish pashas, whatever that means. Hints tell us that we have a population limit of 500 and can research both castle and Imperial Age technologies. The Byzantine tech tree has been modified. We cannot train cavaliers or paladins. That really sucks. Camel riders, Galians, cannon Galians, or trade units. Rough, wow. You also cannot build boats, buildings, or farms. There's a rhythm to the siege. Use the breaks in the fighting to rebuild your defenses, gather resources, and improve your army for the next assault. Protect the relics in the monasteries. These are our only source of gold. Once the livestock are slaughtered, you will need to rely on fish to feed your people. Stone can be found among the ancient ruins scattered across the city. As the siege continues, you will run low on available resources. Use the market to trade for what you need, but know that price inflation is inevitable during a prolonged siege. We can research unique technologies at the Hagia Sophia. All men and women may be needed for the defense. Any villagers you can spare can be garrisoned for additional firepower, but be careful not to lose them. Villagers cannot be replaced. Complete secondary objectives for bonuses and to gain additional units. You are unlikely to succeed in holding off the Ottomans without these benefits. But note that not every objective is advised or possible, depending on your situation. Some will be far too risky to attempt. Make use of any galleons you have or find. These Venetian and Genoese ships are nearly invulnerable to the Ottoman fleets and can draw enemy fire away from your fire ships. Your scouts report that the city of Constantinople is all that remains of the once great Roman Empire. Decades of decline and the Crusader sack of the city in 1204 has made Constantinople a shadow of its former self. The old forums and amphitheaters have been replaced by small farming villages. The city's location, protected by sea on the three sides and the mighty Theodosian walls on the landward side, has ensured its survival for centuries. The city's walls have never before faced cannons, however. The northern portion of the outer walls holds the Blachernae Palace. This area was a later extension of the Theodosian line, so it lacks the double layer of defenses seen elsewhere along the perimeter. Crack Roman troops guard the area under the command of Lucas Notaris. Just south of Blachernae is the gate of Charisius, protected by the Italian troops of the Genoese captain Giovanni Giustiniani, a famed and skilled captain. The Italians are fearsome cavalrymen and archers and even have experience with light hand cannons. Below Giustiniani's position is the Lycus River that bisects much of the city. Further south are the gates of St. Romanus, Ricios, the military gate, and the Golden Gate. These are defended by Roman troops under the command of Constantine XI's cousin, Theophilos Palaiologos. Inside the city, the ancient walls of Constantine provide another layer of defense. In the north is the Italian quarter with a harbor overlooking the Golden Horn, quiet seas protected from the east by a great sea chain. On the southern side of the city are other harbors protected by sea walls. North of the eastern harbors, the ruins of the great city, including the Hippodrome, can be seen. Finally, the core of the city, the Acropolis, stands on the tip of the peninsula, protected by one last layer of defenses, and including the great church of the Holy Wisdom, the Hagia Sophia. The Turks must never be permitted to enter this hallowed church. The Turks themselves have made camps in the west, in the north, and in the east on the Anatolian shore. They controlled the Bosporus and Marmara Sea with blockades of galleys. Their land armies consist of swordsmen, cavalry, and cavalry archers, but most feared are their janissaries and bombard cannons. These must not be allowed to break into the city that has withstood invaders for over a millennium. Scenario by Ramzi Abdurrahim. I believe this is the real name of a well-known designer and scenario designer in Age of Empires 2. I'm pretty sure it's Filthydelphia, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. And of course, music by Nectaria Karanci. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get started here.
Ravenous Turk Mehmet approaches with his devilish host. By the Blessed Virgin, we will defend Constantinople from these Turkish heathens.
Presto. Caedo.
Pero? Quando?
My lord, the great Hagia Sophia has gone quiet since the Catholic ceremonies uniting our church with Rome. Nonetheless, you will find ways to inspire the people under that hallowed dome. The rightful Turk Sultan has a following who will fight alongside us, even if they are cursed heathens. After all, if they were captured alive, the Turk Mehmet would visit horrors onto them worse than the depths of hell.
Okay, a lot of stuff to do here at the start.
The Venetian and Genoese quarters of the city, overlooking the ports on the Golden Horn. Notice the two Italian galleons. They are stronger than any we can produce. The Genoese captain Giovanni Giustiniani commands the center with a contingent of his countrymen.
Just trying to gather all my troops here for now. The important thing is to develop a fish eco here at the start, as well as a real eco.
Presto.
And there's going to be a lot of
Your
action
cousin,
here.
Theophilus, defends the south with the rest of our best troops.
Ein, Sago. Sane. Ago.
Right, I'm going to start moving paladins across the water here.
The Mayor General of Galata places his rich trade before his Christian honor. We should send men to him to convince him to join us.
Impero. Ago. Sane. Presto.
I do not wish the Turk to ravage your city any more than I would have him plunder my own. But overt support will mean war between the Turk and Genoa, something not in my power to authorize. I will help you though through subtler means, if you protect me from the Turkish Pasha Zaganos. Kill him, and I will assist you quietly but strongly.
Alright, so I'm going to use these paladins for that exact purpose here. We got to keep in mind that here at the Hagia Sophia, we were able to
My men cannot fight the Turk directly, but if a few
research
renegades
text.
decide to give you bread and coin, or even a few ships, I cannot stop the actions of free men.
Okay, so this is good. Let's get a few more fishing ships out. Let's not take kill nets. I want Yemen as soon as possible, and that requires a food income, or wood income rather.
The heathen comes. Show the Turk our Christian resolve.
Ein, Sane. Impero. Sane. Ein. Presto. Ago. Impero. Ein. Impero. Pugno. Commita. Presto. Impero. Ein. Porro. Presto. Commita. Ein. Impero. Presto. Ein. Ago. Sane. Porro. Ago. Pugno. Ago. Sane. Commita. Ein. Presto. Porro. Ein, ago, pugno. Ago, sane. Ein, comita. Impero. Ago, sane.
The Turk sends his galleys against our sea walls. Man the towers and send the fire ships. We will send the Turk sailors to the bottom of the sea.
Comita. Impero, presto. Ein, impero, comita. Presto. Ein, sane, corro.
My lord, I have an idea, as foolish as it is daring. If we send men into the Turks' camp, and even just graze the Sultan, it will show the Turk and our men how determined we are. This, of course, will be certain death to the men you send.
Alright, so I'm going to train up some hussars. And have the hussars make that mad dash over to the enemy. Let's get light cavalry research online here. And then, how do I go to a stable? Is it S? No, D, F, Q, W? No, I don't need a transport ship. Let me check the settings real quick. Game commands. Select all. Stables, L. Control Shift, L. Let's get those scouts online. And upgrade to guard tower while we're here. We'll pick up squires. Keep getting fast fire ships out here online. Very good. Want these guys on defensive stance, not aggressive stance. And I want to research Hussar at some point too here. Block here with fast fires, and we're also low on gold. Okay. So far, so good. It seems like it's important to not let the first wave of siege in for this first set here. So long as you can manage to not do that, then you won't be in too much trouble.
Presto. Impero corro. Presto.
The Turk runs. Let them go. We have much to rebuild before they gain the courage for their next assault. There's a natural rhythm to a siege. When the Turks pull back...
And this actually went so well that I'm gonna save real quick. I know it's kind of cheating, but this is a very hard mission, and I am very limited on time. So first wave, last Roman. Let's go ahead and
We
go for
gather
it.
resources and repair the defenses before the next assault. We will hold vigil along the walls and in the churches.
I'd like to get. Let's do Pavis. And also think about our hussars. Where did our hussars go?
2 Turk pashas control the fleets. If we strike against their flagships, the soldiers will fight with renewed resolve.
Okay, I don't want to spend these hussars here. I want to bait these guys away if possible and sneak into the camp.
Ein sane. Pugno. Ein corro. Ein pugno. Ein sane. Comida.
Okay, so far so good on this front. Back here, you can always go for our enemies after the next wave. So I think the important thing right now is to make sure that we are booming up still.
We have stopped the Turks' attempt to flank us, and will have no fear of their ships from this approach.
Let's have those villagers mine stone. Just got 1,200 wood. Let's train archers up. Got 3 more minutes. Let's use the Scalian to bait out one of the Pashas, maybe. Second round of baiting. I think that galleon must be the flagship.
The Turk admiral has been sent to a watery grave.
Let's bring our paladins back here. And block the enemy ship spawns with some cheesy action here. And send these galleons southwards.
Presto. Impero. Sane. Sane. Pugno. Ago.
I'm going to see if I can use these bowmen to actually deal some damage to our opponent. I think the key to success here is to do some damage.
Hold them off, men.
Let's do keep here. We'll pick up guilds. To get rid of their rams and their bombard cannons. I never picked up conscription or hoarding, so that's real bad. That's slowing down our production by a lot. It looks like they're going to bust into our first layer of walls here, unfortunately. Okay, the second wave's tough, but we've handled worse, I think. Let's get more Arbalesters out here. We're knocking bombard cannons down, which is good. North side is still looking relatively solid. Greek fire, sure, we'll pick up Greek fire. Gotta get rid of that flagship soon. Still have 4 minutes, 20 seconds of this assault to go. Let's bring more soldiers to the front. Keep producing Arbalesters.
Salve. Sane.
We're out of stone back here. Let's get this stone up here. Keep auto refresh on our fishing ships. Very good. Looks like this main gate is where most of the trouble is. Hagia Sophia, we can do Carrick here. That sounds good. I need more gold is what I need. Maybe if I can justify some additional food costs, I can build fishing ships here. Got 1 more minute left to survive. We're starting to lose our fishing fleet.
Presto. Correctus. Ein. Condo.
They run, collect the dead, and prepare for their next assault.
Alright, that is a very good start. Second wave, last Romans. There's a total of 6 waves that we need to worry about. So what I'd like to do is, after clearing these fellas out, is achieve 2 objectives. So the first objective I want to achieve... is getting through to the enemy base here. So let's unlock this gate. Grab 1 villager. Have that villager repair this wall up here. Can even pick up supremacy, maybe? Get some more arbalesters out. We have lots of villagers on stone now. It would probably actually be better to get villagers on wood again at some point. Let's have these arbalesters hole up here. We still have lots of units inside, which is good. Let's just task those hustlers directly over. And get our replacement hustlers online.
The great Turk Mehmet has been wounded, and our men rejoice. They will fight with renewed vigor. There will be a special place beside the Lord for those men who died to bring us this victory.
Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna actually think about getting elite cataphract. We'll just try it. And maybe even logistica. These guys are out of wood. Keep getting stone here. And have these villagers build some extra towers back here. Take out the onagers. Get back inside here. Very nice. And wood is actually our limiting income now. Never thought that would be the case. Alright, let's put these paladins back out here so they can get healed up. Use the TTKs as fodder here. And keep training up cataphract. I think cataphract will be a great boon to us. How do I select all castles? Game commands. Control Shift V. I'm gonna make another quick save here, which is second wave further. Control Shift V. And build more towers here. I think the key here is to bait out enemies before the wave starts. You need to ride forward and kind of like do some damage to the opponents before they actually muster up their forces. So this is Hosma Bay's flagship. We're doing great damage here. Right before the assault begins.
The heathen comes again. Hold them off, men. The Turk
Zero
Pasha
food.
is going down with his cursed ship.
Well, thanks for all the food, lads, I guess. I'm gonna need help down south without a doubt. That gate is coming down fast. Game is starting to lag a little bit too. get more archers out and try to make a strike on those rams back there. Do I have more archers back here? No.
Impero. Ein. Sane.
Ai, sane. Pugno. Ai, sane. Ai, sane.
Okay, so north side is super safe. West side is unfortunately screwed, I think.
Presto. Sane. Ago. Sane. Ago. Sane.
Hopefully they funnel their way north.
Sane. Commita. Ai, sane. Ai. Ago. Porro. Commita. Pugno. Commita. Porro. Pugno.
The heathen has broken through the gate of Saint Romanus. Stand firm, soldiers, and hold this vile enemy back.
Pugno.
Oh, that guy just juked all my arrows.
Sane. Commita. Ai, sane.
Gotta hold for a few more minutes.
Ago.
I'm gonna try to bait them back to my hill here.
Ago. Ai, sane. Impero. Ago.
It's gonna be tough to rebuild this area because they have remaining rams.
Ago. Sane.
Look at all these enemies.
Ai, sane.
Don't let them through this gate.
Ai, porro.
Oh, this is really unfortunate.
Heathens have broken into the heart of the city.
We kinda just let them in, to be
Did you
honest.
expect to live forever?
We only have to hold for one more minute. Our villagers are like right here too. That's really rough.
Ai, commita. Sane. Porro. Ai, pugno. Sane. Porro. Pugno. Ago. Commita. Ai, porro. Sane. Pugno. Ago. Commita. Ai.
They run,
Sane.
collect the dead, and prepare for their next assault.
Impero. Salve.
Okay, let's finish these buildings. Let's rebuild this wall here.
Condo.
Maybe later. Let's
Condo. Condo. Condo.
let's rebuild up here actually. And train more of these light cavalry. I want to use these light cavalry to bait enemies in. Let's just save real quick. Third wave.
Good tidings, my lord. The Pope in Rome sends reinforcements to us. They must get through the sturdy Turk blockade. But may this be the vanguard of a great crusader army.
Salve. Ein. Condo.
Alright, this gate's fallen, so we need to plug it up.
Condo.
Prago. Commita.
Let's get more arbalesters. Any good text to be had here? Not by the looks of things. Let me see if I can break through to these reinforcements here.
Impero.
Impero.
Okay, bring those guys over. Very good.
Ein.
Presto. Sane. Condo. 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 Ein. Condo. Salve. Condo.
Let's build up some palisades. Have this be our second to last line of resistance here.
Sane.
Bait those guys over into our archers. We'll bring some more archers over here. Keep training more archers. Get these guys on our side. Very good.
Ein. Correctus.
I built the wrong layer of walls first, apparently. Good job, I guess.
Condo. 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 Condo.
That is pretty much the last of our stone.
Presto. Ein.
The heathen comes again. Hold them off, men.
Look at that guy moonwalking. We need kills on these bombards. So we get those kills and then we back up. These guys are all funneling into this direction now. Where are these guys getting their wood from? Okay, I see. Get those bills in the transport. Okay, and they all seem to be going northwards, so let's send them that way. Not transport ships. No, 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 no. Fast fires. We can't build our own war galleys, unfortunately. Let's do orthodoxy for our remaining monks. Is this Constantine? Oh my god, if we let Constantine die, we lose. We bring him back home. Okay, this is fine. We're still alive, as much as I dislike this. I'm gonna see if I can try to take care of some enemies over here on this side. Oh man, I'm losing a lot of bowmen there. This is a very interesting predicament we've gotten ourselves into.
Tiresias has fallen. Hold the breach, men. Do not let the ravenous Turk have his way into your homes.
We're going to take care of those 3 bombard cannons. And so long as these guys remain stuck, I'm actually okay with them kind of chipping away at my forces here. We just patrol these paladins back and forth. And keep baiting these cannons into firing at us. Is this gate locked? It's locked. Unlock it, please. Start bringing these guys forward. These guys are starting to get funneled into like one zone. We're able to manipulate their AI just a little bit. Let's take care of that exposed bombard cannon. And they're gonna run in due course here.
They run, collect the dead, and prepare for their next assault.
Alright, let's save here real quick. That is the 4th wave. And the nice thing is that on the sea we seem to be largely fine now. I need a lumber cap. Literally 99 wood.
Presto. Correcto. Presto. Sane. Caedo. Ein. Correctus.
Ein.
Salve. Presto. Caedo.
Can mine this stone here.
Caedo. Condo.
Good. And let's come back up here and heal up. Good use of shift queuing there. And we can sell off extra food at the market.
Impero. Ein. Correctus. Sane. Caedo. Ein. Correctus.
I would like these villagers to build up better walls here.
Condo. 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 Condo.
Okay, let's do cataphract. More hussars. Get these guys back on real fish again instead of farmed fish. And things are starting to look a little better. I think we have to survive to pretty much the 2-hour mark. It's like 2 hours, 2 minutes or something. We have a nice backup plan here.
Impero. Condo. Presto. Salve. Condo. Impero. Correcto. Sane. Condo. Presto. Caedo. Condo. Salve. Reficio. Condo. Ein. Caedo. Caedo. Condo. Salve. Salve. Ein. Corretto. Condo. Sane. Condo. Ein. Condo. Condo. Condo.
Impero sane. Ein sane. Ein. Sane. Presto. Ein.
I think what I need to do is get out here with these hussars and try to get some snipes in. Let's also get some more cataphracts in as well. At the Hagia Sophia, Perfusion, Dragina. I don't think we really can make use out of either of those.
Ein. Salve. Correctus. Condo.
Okay, get the rams, get the cannons. It's okay that that cannon didn't get sniped, that's fine.
Ein. Ago. Sane. Porro.
The heathen comes again. Hold them off, men. Turk sends his best janissaries against us. We will show these once Christians the price of straying from the Lord.
Ein. Ein. Sane. Correctus. Ein. Correctus. Ein.
Ein.
Okay, we gotta go for these mangonels. The siege is really what will get us here. Oh, we left a hole.
Sane.
Oh no, we left a hole.
Sane. Pugno. Sane.
Well, that is unfortunate to say the least.
Sane. Sane. Ago. Sane. Ago.
I'm gonna run these guys back outside.
Pugno. Sane. Comita.
Try to bait their attention out here. I'll need to make note of that. I think I lost a couple of villagers as well, unfortunately. But since I've baited the collective AI out here, things are starting to look a bit better. Get more cataphracts out. Let's get more hussars out. Giovanni's still alive. Gotta take stock of which of my heroes are still alive at the end of this.
sane, ago, ai, pugno, ago, sane, porro, sane, pugno, ago, commute, ai, pugno, sane, commute, ago, porro, ai, commute, sane, pugno, ago, porro, sane, commute, ago, ai, sane, ago, ai, sane, ago, sane, porro. Sai, sane.
Oh, these bumper cannons are exposed down here. They're like on. It's as if we're the attackers now.
Sane, pugno, ago. Ago. Ai, sane, commute, ai, sane. Ago, sane. Ai, sane. Ago, ago. Sai, sane. Ago, sane.
Go for the cannons that get baited in front of our towers here.
Pugno, ago, porro, sane, pugno. Ai, porro, ago, sane, luta. Ago, pugno, sane.
We have to survive another minute of this madness. How are the boats? Our boats are actually not looking so great either. Let's fix that up real quick. Feels like we've lost a lot of our Galians.
They run, collect the dead, and prepare for their next assault.
Okay, this is 5th wave completed.
Ago, porro, ai, sane, impero, commita, ago, porro, ago, sane, ai, sane, impero, ai, sane, commita, porro, ai, sane, ago, commita, ai, sane, pugno.
Okay, let's get those. Let's get a few cataphracts out. Let's get more arbalesters out, more importantly. And we should try to recover whatever relics we've got. So I've dropped this relic out here, which is not good.
Ago, ai.
Res correctus, salve, sane.
Okay, so first off, let's actually complete this wall off here.
Condo. Condo. Condo.
Impero, sane. Ago, presto. Salve.
And let's have this monk grab the relic and bring it back here. Let's get another monk. Keep churning out these hussars.
Ein.
Running pretty low on soldiers, actually. Keep reducing wherever we can. Sell off some of this wood. Don't need that skirmisher. Go back to natural fish.
Condo. Presto. Ein.
Presto, impero, reficio. Ein. Sane, correctus. Caedo, correctus. Condo,
Ein. Sane. Ein. Sane. Reficio.
ein. Condo,
Presto. Salve. Sane.
I just realized there's no way to cross from north to south here.
Ein.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, so I'm wasting a lot of time and resources here.
ein. Condo,
But this is good to know that these two sections are kind of
Sane.
totally sectioned off.
Correctus. Ein.
Because then I have to go all the way around before bringing it back.
correctus. Condo,
Sane. Sane. Ago. Presto. Correctus. Sane. Correctus. Sane.
ein. Presto,
Which means that this southern area is going to need defending.
condo, condo. Condo,
Impero. Sane. Porro.
Let's garrison inside this castle. Get more light cavalry out, get more cataphracts out. We should also keep in mind that we've had infantry and some cataphracts in this castle this whole time,
impero, sane.
just to fulfill the benefit of
Condo, presto, reficio, salve, condo.
having the crenellations upgrade. Also, I don't know what it is, but it seems like the aqueducts put quite a good fight up against the rams. It felt like they weren't taking very much damage.
Condo,
Presto. Salve. Reficio. Impero. Correctus. Condo. Salve. Condo. Presto. Condo. Ein. Sane. Correctus. Condo.
ein.
Ein. Correctus.
Alright, and this is actually the final assault, I think. You just need to survive 15 minutes of in-game time here.
Ein. Ago. Impero. Sane. Ago. Sane. Ago.
The heathen comes again. Hold them off, men.
Impero. Sane. Condo.
Salve, presto, correctus. Condo, pero, ein. Reficio, presto, sane. Impero, correctus, correctus. Salve, sane. Condo,
Presto. Salve. Correctus. Condo.
ein, correctus. Caedo,
Alright, so far so good. Shouldn't walk archers directly into onager fire if I can avoid it. Let's go for siege weapons here if we can. Okay, those walls are getting busted, but that's okay. I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to retreat these soldiers back here. Sorry about the frames, guys, but this is a big scenario. There's a lot going on. So maybe I shouldn't have done this one on high graphics. I apologize for the inconsistent quality. I think the problem with the sea approach is that there's not really too much benefit to not losing the sea. I guess we could spam some additional cataphracts out here. Man, my game is playing at a snail's crawl now. I'm just praying that my game doesn't crash before this is all over. We're averaging a nice 18 FPS currently. Alright, so this zone is also finally going down at long last. The tower is holding fast, but I'm gonna have these cataphracts go down as well. Put the soldiers inside the towers so they can continue contributing to the fight. Things aren't looking too good on the water, but the outer city is actually doing great because they're getting distracted by the outer walls. And this castle has done so much good work for us, man. This castle is really the MVP. And I promise, when the video looks like a slideshow to you guys, it looks like a slideshow to me too. It looks like this final segment is just really, really intensive, far beyond what a normal scenario would be. And this castle is finally going down after Lots of faithful service.
Tourney has fallen. Christian men, do your duty and fight to the death for our Lord Christ and his blessed mother.
Take out as much siege as humanly possible.
Hold a bit longer, men. The Turk resolve is straining. I can feel it.
This tower's gone as well. Oh, and it looks like there's a gap. Oh, this villager's just been camping in here the whole time. Maybe she can hide. Yeah, let's just have her hide in here. Whew! This poor woman.
They run. They run for good. They
I think we are good.
Run for good.
And just like that, our FPS is also back.
To our prayers, and we have won a great victory.
Awesome.
The heathen has been pushed from our lands, and Constantinople will remain a Christian city, now and for always.
I do believe that Constantinople does fall in real life, though. But man, oh man, this is one toughie. Now, you'll just have to believe me, but this was all done in one take, so even though I did the saves, I didn't end up using them. You can look for sneaky edits on your own, but honestly, I don't really bother editing these videos too much. But we can talk about it after the final credits here.
In truth, the Ottoman armies overwhelmed the defenders of Constantinople. The walls that had been impregnable for centuries collapsed and crumbled under the bombardment of cannons. The hordes of Turkish soldiers climbed over the wall's ruins and the bodies of their own dead, but did not relent. The handful of Greek and Italian soldiers bravely held the line, but were surrounded and decimated. As the dawn broke, Constantinople was reduced to flames and ash. The golden and jeweled adornments of the Hagia Sophia, the church that had stood in regal splendor for 9 centuries, were ripped from the walls. The women and children crowded in the church, praying for the intervention of angels with fiery swords of justice who would smite the invaders, were herded and chained, distributed among the Turkish soldiers to be sold on the slave markets. A few barred the doors of the smaller churches, frantically ringing the bells as a signal to any Christian soldier left alive, or any Christian ship at sea, that innocents were within, holding fast and praying for a salvation that would not come. The Turkish soldiers, greedy for slaves and plunder, battered and broke the walls. In a few hours, 1,000 years of Constantinople, the last moments of the Roman Empire, disappeared in flames and smoke as the final church bells tolled their last.
All right. Wow, what a scenario. So lots of stuff to kind of unpack here. It's a really tough one. I find that a lot of the defense scenarios tend to be quite difficult because the player's mind is not accustomed to losing a lot of their base and having that still contribute to victory. I think part of winning this scenario is the acceptance that you're eventually going to lose the outer wall. I don't really see how you can accomplish the protect the Romanist gate objective. I think it is possible to save some of the villagers, to save all the villagers. And we did complete these other 2 optional challenges, but I don't see how you can preserve the gate on the highest difficulty. Really, the important thing to do right away is to... Man, there's just so much stuff to do. you want to research archery techs quickly if possible, because if you can get a nice block of archers, then they can kind of mow down incoming waves of infantry as they come in, and killing units prevents them from kind of snowballing into big piles of doom like this. So having a big block of archers that have full upgrades, plus Pavis, plus Yeoman, will do lots of wonders for your team, because it will also allow them to kind of snipe out some bombard cannons occasionally as well. Another technology that's super critical to research early on, I think, is crenellations. Crenellations allows your castle to hold up much better against the enemy. It lets your castle kind of snipe bombard cannons on its own, which is really important. And furthermore, it gives some purpose to your infantry. Like, I preserve some of my legionaries, because legionaries just get absolutely melted by janissaries anyway. Legionaries get melted by siege anyway, and they have to fight blow to blow with the enemy hordes. So really, trying to trade infantry to infantry is not going to be effective in this scenario. That's kind of why I preserved these legionaries, so that they could act as makeshift archers once I researched crenellations, and I think that ended up being extremely effective. A third thing is, it's actually also really important to get the hussar upgrade and use all your excess food from your fish boom to train hussars, and have the hussars ride forward and snipe siege weapons between waves. What this allows you to do is kind of destroy incoming waves of infantry, like the first few waves, with just your archers, with no problem, without having to worry about their arrows being diverted into rams, without having to worry about getting your archers flattened by siege weapons, and without having to worry about meleeing down siege weapons while the invasion is in full force. You saw what I did there, which is between every fight, I would send like 60 hussars out, and I'd just take out, I'd take out 1 or 2 siege rams, I'd take out the bombard cannons, I'd take out some onagers in the later waves. Particularly the cannons and the rams, though, those things are what really knocks out your buildings. So if you can eliminate those, it actually preserves your walls for so much longer, and it makes your defenses that much more effective. So that's another point that you want to make sure that you're doing. You want to make sure you have a raiding party of hussars to take out siege. And the hussars are pretty expendable, because you're going to have a lot of food this mission if you're doing a proper fish boom. On the topic of fish booming, it's really good to have a fish boom, because the natural food out on the water is free food. And then also, having fishing boats is essentially having extra economy units. It's not essentially having extra economy units. It's literally having extra economy units, and that will prop up your defenses. You think the food might not be all that impactful, but it's really impactful. It lets you train those hussars that you really need. You can sell some of the excess food at the markets. Don't forget to get guilds to get extra gold if you need them. And floating some gold and floating some food also allows you to train more cataphracts even. Also, getting stone and building towers close together behind the walls or near your castles is much more effective than trying to spread out your towers to cover more area. There's going to be entire areas of the city that you cannot defend adequately. And it's just best to give those up once the time comes. And it might even distract your opponents from the true underbelly of the city. It might force them to, for example, focus on some of the fortified walls even. Just realized this outer layer of walls is not even fortified. It's just regular stone walls. Wow. What else? Something that you might have noticed that I did was I learned to use select all, and that makes the micro so much easier in terms of producing units. instead of having to find each individual production building and then select the unit that I want to produce, I could just press select all, set a gather point somewhere, and just spam away at the unit that I wanted, and they would gather up in one place. I was gathering up my archers on this hill area here, and I was gathering up my hussars behind the castle back here. And that micro is going to be super pivotal if you want to be able to complete this level without pausing at all. Lastly, I guess, not lastly, there's so much more to talk about. You can block ship spawns by putting ships here, but if they spawn a demo ship, they'll pretty much blow everything up. So it's pretty good if you can manage to block the demo ship spawn, but it's not foolproof, so to speak. It is decent in terms of the fact that it blocks some ships, so it'll make this defensive area last longer. Notice Gabriel himself lived until the very end. But it's not absolutely vital to victory. I think what this scenario did really well was it made Galleons powerful because they had lots of extra HP, but it also pretty much shoehorned you into using your fast fire ships. And on top of that, it gave them Karak as well from the Hagia Sophia. So in terms of the water defense, making sure that your Galleons stay alive, of course, is a good priority. But also using fire ships is my recommendation as well. The fire ships are really good against the enemy war galleys. They're not so good against the demo ships, but you can kind of sacrifice one fire ship to one demo ship, which is something that I tried to do on the water as well. Defeating the admirals, which is the Galleon here in the east and the fire ship down here in, I guess, the southeast. Defeating these seems to give you lots of wood and lots of, I think, food and wood or something like that for the first one, which will help you kind of continue keeping your momentum forward and developing your economy and keeping unit production up. So I highly recommend taking the time to complete these objectives between waves. Your starting force of paladins is more than enough to clear out these forces up here, so that you can get yellow on your side. I think they help you primarily by just giving you some Galleons, but it's still really solid help from them. You could also transport villagers over to this side and just collect wood, and they'll be completely safe. Furthermore, you'll notice that before the trigger actually went off, I sent my navy up to the north here to destroy these docks. I also sent my paladins up concurrently to destroy the docks. Completing these objectives will prevent the opponent from sending navy down this river, though don't ask me how they would even... I don't know where in real life this river would connect to. But it also gives you some additional resources, which is really good. The nice thing about sending the paladins up here is that you can guarantee that you won't lose them in one of the earlier attack waves, and you can actually bring them back via transport to reinforce the front after they've completed their objective here. You need to keep in mind that you can't produce any more paladins after this, but I think what the scenario creator was trying to do was trying to shoehorn you into producing cataphracts. Now, that brings me to the objective where you want to wound the enemy general. I think sending a block of maybe 30, 40 fully upgraded hussars will do the job, and it gives you 3,000 food and 4,000 gold or something like that, which is really, really, really strong. I use those resources to produce more cavalry, but I also use them to get elite cataphract as well as logistica. And that really made those guys strong against the enemy hordes. The splash damage was actually super, super good for kind of dealing extra damage and giving value to your cataphracts. Now, you can research Dragina, you can research Perfusion, but the problem with those is that infantry is quite honestly terrible against the opponent. Even Condottiero, who are theoretically good against gunpowder units, are just not going to do the job. And that's solely because they don't trade economically. Resource for resource, they have to take either a ranged hit or multiple ranged hits or melee hits in order to really do damage. And that's just not efficient resource-wise. In fact, infantry are probably the least useful unit type for this mission, which is why you want to use them to garrison your towers for crenellations. What else is there to cover here? Finally, you do get a good block of transport ships down here with some reinforcements. It's not hard to break open the line of ships here. It's once you have a good block of fast fire ships and your remaining galleons, they can easily break through and free those transport ships up to reach your base here. Wow, look at this demo ship. And when it comes to Navy, their main goal is to protect your fishing eco until you've reached the final wave. After all is said and done, it's okay to lose these docks in the south. I don't think the enemy really lands transport ships or anything. And even if they do, by this time you should have this castle fortified with a bunch of towers. So I think that just about sums it all up strategically. Arbalesters, hussars, and building lots of towers close together. Important techs are crossbowman upgrade, arbalester upgrade, chemistry, ballistics, pavis, yeoman, crenellations, Karak for your ships, and then of course all the rest of the blacksmith upgrades follow that. Then of course you want to research light cavalry and hussar and husbandry. Squires for your infantry is also very useful because it only costs food and it makes them go faster. But also guard tower, keep, optionally bombard tower if you think you can afford it. I really don't think it's all that worth it. The keeps perform better in my experience. Arrow slits for archer for tower attack. And geez, what else am I missing? I don't think I'm really missing too much else here. Whatever wonder text, the unique text I picked up from the Hagia Sophia, you can pick them up if you can. I think I do pick up the monk armor tech, and I do pick up supremacy as well. Those are less vital. On the water, obviously you want fast fire ship. You want careening, which is the +1 pierce armor. Dry dock is pretty good, which makes your fire ships move faster. Greek fire from the castle gives your fire ships range. Karak from the Hagia Sophia gives them pierce armor. It makes them super units. The name of this game is to have super units that can trade super efficiently and to not lose your units in inefficient fights before you can get your units to these upgrade levels. That's about all the tips that I can give, I think. This is a really difficult mission. Perhaps one of the most difficult missions I have ever played. It's certainly harder than a lot of official campaigns. Which, funnily enough, the official campaign that this one reminds me the most of is the Bari one, where you have to defend the castle. The best laid schemes, where you're essentially you're fighting a bunch of enemies and you have to defend a castle. But even then, that one is still easy compared to what this one was. So yeah, super strong mission, very well written. Whoever wrote it did Constantinople justice and truly KO'd my frame rate. But that was The Last Romans, The Siege. I had a great time playing this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.